2 weeks after Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis survived a bid by defense lawyers to have her disqualified from the Georgia election interference case, she has all but taken over the case personally, focusing intensely on legal strategy and getting her team in fighting form for trial. According to a source close to her, Willis has decided to play a leading courtroom role herself in the sprawling conspiracy case against Donald Trump and 14 co-defendants. "I think there are efforts to slow down the train, but the train is coming," Willis said with characteristic bravado during impromptu remarks to CNN as she was leaving a Georgia Easter egg hunt on March 23. "I guess my greatest crime is that I had a relationship with a man, but that's not something I find embarrassing in any way," she added. Willis had just endured a lengthy legal soap opera after lawyers for one of the defendants filed a motion on January 8 alleging that she had a clandestine romantic relationship with outside lawyer Nathan Wade, whom she had tapped to leave the case. Over 2 months of withering testimony and legal argument, Willis had intimate details of her private life publicly aired, her judgment and integrity questioned, and saw the most high-stakes prosecution of her career teeter on the brink of collapse because of an indiscretion in her personal life. Perhaps most consequentially, she is gaming out her own role in trying the case. Her appearance in the courtroom will not just be symbolic. Willis is seriously considering handling opening statements for the prosecution and examining key witnesses herself, according to sources familiar with her thinking, who requested anonymity to speak freely about her approach to the case. Those who know the pugnacious and competitive DA well say a star turn in the courtroom, in the only case against Trump that will be televised, may put the distracting disqualification drama fully behind her. They say she is intent on shifting the public's focus back onto Trump and his company defendants for their alleged effort to overturn the 2020 election. It was a strategy she already showcased when she testified combatively in the disqualification hearing last month. "You're confused, you think I'm on trial," she told defense lawyer Ashley Merchant. "These people are on trial for trying to steal an election." Willis stepped up. High-profile public role in the case would also come as she runs for re-election in Fulton County. While it seems unlikely the trial would begin before the general election in November, she will likely have opportunities to argue pre-trial motions and procedural matters before then. Any remarks about the case she makes inside the courtroom carry far less risk than whatever she might be tempted to say in the public arena, where she feels less restrained. She has already been admonished by McAfee for making unorthodox public remarks. The judge has hinted that he might impose a gag order on the case. "Given the fact that she just barely walked away legally unscathed and that there is an appeal, I think a little extra caution would pay off dividends," said Anthony Michael Kreese, a professor of law at Georgia State College of Law, who has been following the election interference case closely. At the same time, Kreese said Willis has every right and prerogative to try the case herself and called doing so a potential rehabilitation moment. Willis was always likely to play at least some public-facing role in the trial, if for no other reason than to show her constituents how seriously she was taking a case that she regards as core to their rights as Americans and Georgians, according to a close friend of Willis. But it was only after going through the searing 2-month disqualification ordeal that she decided to play a leading, if not the leading trial role, sources tell CBS News. Willis earned a reputation as a courtroom practitioner over a 2-decade career of trying and winning hundreds of murder, rape and gang cases, but also leading some of the most complex prosecutions ever brought in Georgia. Chief among them was the Atlanta Public Schools cheating case, a Georgia RICO prosecution, involving the same conspiracy statute under which Trump and his company defendants were charged, against more than a dozen teachers, principals and administrators. She combines a level of preparation unmatched by any attorney I have ever seen, with a very rare ability to connect with a jury at that gut level, said Charlie Bailey, a former Fulton County senior assistant DA who has tried cases with Willis and is a close friend. Trump and co-defendants ask appeals court to review ruling allowing Fani Willis to stay on Georgia election case. Former President Donald Trump and 8 other defendants accused of illegally trying to interfere in the 2020 election in Georgia on Friday submitted a formal application to appeal a judge's ruling allowing Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis to remain on the case. Trump and other defendants had tried to get Willis and her office tossed off the case, saying her romantic relationship with Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade created a conflict of interest. Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee earlier this month found that there was not a conflict of interest that should force Willis off the case but said that the prosecution was encumbered by an appearance of impropriety. McAfee's ruling said Willis could continue her prosecution if Wade left the case, and the special prosecutor resigned hours later. Lawyers for Trump and other defendants then asked McAfee to allow them to appeal his ruling to the Georgia Court of Appeals, and he granted that request. The filing of an application with the appeals court is the next step in that process. The Court of Appeals has 45 days to decide whether it will take up the matter. The allegations that Willis had improperly benefited from her romance with Wade upended the case for weeks. Intimate details of Willis and Wade's personal lives were aired in court in mid-February, overshadowing the serious allegations in one of 4 criminal cases against the Republican former president. Trump and 18 others were indicted in August, accused of participating in a wide-ranging scheme to illegally try to overturn his narrow 2020 presidential election loss to President Biden in Georgia.
According to Fox 59, Atlanta, AP, former President Donald Trump and 8 other defendants accused of illegally trying to interfere in the 2020 election in Georgia on Friday submitted a formal application to appeal a judge's ruling allowing Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis to remain on the case.
Atlanta, AP, former President Donald Trump and 8 other defendants accused of illegally trying to interfere in the 2020 election in Georgia on Friday submitted a formal application to appeal a judge's ruling allowing Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis to remain on the case. Trump and other defendants had tried to get Willis and her office tossed off the case, saying her romantic relationship with Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade created a conflict of interest. Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee earlier this month found that there was not a conflict of interest that should force Willis off the case but said that the prosecution was encumbered by an appearance of impropriety. All of the defendants were charged with violating Georgia's Racketeer-Influenced and Corrupt Organizations, or RICO, law, an expansive anti-racketeering statute. 4 people charged in the case have pleaded guilty after reaching deals with prosecutors. Trump and the others have pleaded not guilty. The appeal application says McAfee was wrong not to disqualify both Willis and Wade from the case, saying that providing DA Willis with the option to simply remove Wade confounds logic and is contrary to Georgia law.
As you leave the page, don't forget to hit the like bell and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so as yet. Thank you for watching.